I also noticed we have another of our dear friends, Colin, on this call. So Colin, happy to have you here, and we want you to share your perspectives as well.
Hey Colin, nice to see you.
Hi, good to see you guys too. And I'm so excited to actually witness this conversation with both of you. Really looking forward for that, and I'm happy I could make it. So really good to see hear your perspective, Sahil. And I was so excited to see that mirror behind you, and the way you started it. It was fun.
Thanks, Colin.
So Sahil, I was just thinking about hearing the conversation from where you started, and and Harini mentioned about filters and so on and so forth, and how's the and the impact to organizations and culture and so on and so forth. I was just wondering, with people putting on so many filters, are we really losing our true self? Are we losing our true identity? And is that an organization culture that we want to set forward? Is that an organization culture that we want to keep, which is rather fake than not real? So I just wanted to hear your perspective from on that, because putting a filter is actually shying away from reality. And
absolutely, yeah.
And I know many people have used filters in photographs and stuff like that. I never use one, but it's just that I feel reality is something that you must embrace. Reality is something that you must believe, and reality is something that you should live by. So just wanted to hear your point of view, Sahil.
Sure, Colin. First of all, thanks for joining in. Being a senior colleague, it feels nice that you're on this channel with us. Colin, I want to take 2 steps back before I come to your question.
Yeah.
I think what's very important is let's pause for a minute and let's ask ourselves, how many of us really know what our own identity is? Because unless we don't know our own identity, over a period of time, by masking filters start appearing normal. Because unless I don't go onto Instagram and I don't put a filter, I think I'm not really posted a picture. So I definitely end up putting a filter. So unless we don't know our identity or what our identity is, putting a filter becomes normal. It's like pretty much a standard thing, right? We know metro is happening in Mumbai, and this is all pre-COVID. We know that if I have to go from Worli to Kandivali in the evening on a weekday, I'm going to spend 2.5 hours on the road. And I do that every day because I have to do a job and I have to have a living. And therefore, that is normal. Now, suddenly when people see peacocks in their building, or they see the sky is so clear, or they see that there's no pollution, or they don't see people on the road, they say, my God, this is not normal, but I love this. The question that I really want to ask is, post-COVID, 6 months later, 1 year later, social distancing, evaporates in some form or shape. Have we as a human race learned? And if we have not learned, the question is, have we not learned by choice, or have we not learned because it is very convenient to go back to what we were? Yeah. And if we are very convenient to go back to what we were, that itself is a choice. And that itself means that I don't want to go within to figure out who I am, but I'm very comfortable because the hundreds of people on this call have a particular perception of me or you or anybody else, and I go with the herd because that makes life easy for me. But if I have to be who I am, I will be subject to ridicule, I will be subject to questions, I'll be subject to laughter, I'll be subject to 100 other things. And to avoid, sorry, you're saying something.
No, I was just, go ahead.
Yeah, and so I'm saying to avoid all of that, I find it very comfortable not to even stand in the first 2 rows of the group fee, because then I'll get spotted. So I might as well go to the last row, even though I'm short. And even when a leader asks me to come in the front, I choose not to come because I'm happy being at the back doing my work, because I know and I have the intelligence to know that if I come in the spotlight, I will be subject. It's like how actors call it, right? If all your Bollywood stars, you notice some of them, they are extremely intelligent, but they are extremely media shy. And the reason for that is because they know that the price that they have to pay of being a celebrity or being an actor is so high, being trolled, being questioned, saying, okay, otherwise you earn so much money, but you haven't donated a single rupee to the PM's Cares Fund. All those kind of things, right? So people rather say, I might as well focus my energy on my work and not get that publicity or, popularity, and therefore maintain an identity that I am comfortable with.
Absolutely. So it's all about, maintaining what suits you, what you're comfortable with, what you feel that this is what you want to display at this particular, with this particular type of audience. Yeah?
Yeah. And I think so what changes, Colin, is when the ecosystem changes, and this happens a lot with many people who shift jobs, move to different sectors, work with different bosses. When the ecosystem changes, people adjust. And people adjust because it's about survival. But when you leave them alone and it's nothing to do with survival, they generally end up being themselves. It's like a classic case, right? You do a focus group discussion with 50 people, they won't open up. You do a focus group with 4 friends over a couple of drinks outside office, and all the real stories come out.